all that works, let me introduce you to my co-host, Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike. Do you want me to do it? No worries. Well, if you're watching this live, you're either doing it via our Facebook page or directly on our website. And seeing as how we're beaming this live across the internet, and as Michael likes to say, around the planet Houston, we'd like to hear from you, Superman fans right across the world. So to call in and talk with us tonight, you'll need to use Skype. Now, you open up Skype, you search for Superman homepage, and you send us a message saying you'd like to chat with us live tonight, and we'll try to get you on in the second half hour of our show. Don't call in, send us a message through Skype, and we'll try to get you on later on in the show. Now, for those of you tuning in live via Facebook to watch tonight's show, below that video we invite you to join in and chat with fellow fans and post your comments, ask questions, and Michael and I will keep an eye on those comments throughout the show, so get involved. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Tina Murray, Douglas Meacham and Henry Bernstein. We appreciate your support. And we do not have Scotty V with us tonight. He was scheduled to be on the show, being the last Tuesday of the month, but due to a work commitment he cannot make it tonight. So I will power through with the regular segments that he does with us when he does join us. Yes, we will. How have you been, Mike? What's been happening in your world? Yes, so cannot wait for that. People are saying that they can't hear you, Michael. I can hear you fine, so that's a little bit strange. Let's see what's going on there. But people can hear me, I'm guessing. Michael is not playing. He's playing non tonight, says Patrick. But yeah. Don't know why. I can hear you, and so Michael's audio is not coming through. Okay. Well, yes. Okay, I can see that it's not. No, it's something to do with the stuff on this end of Skype is up, but no sound coming through it, which is really strange. So I will try to fix that on this end of things, but not sure why Michael's audio isn't coming through there. I might hang up, or I might get you to hang up there, Mike, and then I'll bring you in once we get that fixed up. So I'll get you to hang up, and then I'll give you a call back right away. I'll do that right now myself. Okay, so I'm trying to bring Michael back in now. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can get Michael back on. And there's one, there's two. Skype audio still doesn't show on this end that there's anything coming through on Skype side of things, which is really strange that there's no Skype audio. So yeah, so I don't know, see if Michael, can anyone hear Michael when he's talking? Let's come through there, because I'm showing not sure what's going on there. It doesn't show me that there is any volume coming through on the Skype in hang on, what about now? Let's see if that works. Source video file, share screening. No, microphone. No, that's my microphone. So, yeah, not sure what's happening there, Michael, with your audio not coming through. I haven't changed any details here. But we'll power through. Anyway, I'll see if I can figure out what's happening there and why the Skype audio isn't coming through for everybody. But I will push through and see if I can figure it out in the meantime. One of the things that has happened, and it's starting with movie news, we get some interviews with Henry Cavill, who's been doing a lot of the publicity for Mission Impossible Fallout, which is out in theatres now and across the USA, and will be released here in Australia. I think it's August 2nd or August 9th. But he has been doing a lot of interviews, and people have been asking him all about the moustache and what's been happening there. And there was a funny one where he was talking, poking a bit of fun at his own moustache, playing Guess That Moustache, where he puts up a fake moustache in front of his face, and he's guessing which movie or which actor or which character it's from. And here's just a bit of that video in which he talks about, you'll see it when he hands over or puts up the particular moustache from, or face, or non-moustache from Justice League.
See, if it was baffled, didn't it?
Over a bit. Other way. No, that's it.
See, if it was like here, it looks just like the movie. I'm not going to say the character. This is Mustache Gate.
So he calls it Moustache Gate, talking about the face that was created for Justice League, and even pokes a bit of fun there at how poorly that looked. And I'm still not getting any audio from you, Michael, so don't know what to do about that. Shit. It's frustrating. High quality video mode. No, not sure why I'm not getting any audio from Michael. Skype audio should be full on. It's not muted, so I don't know why. Yeah, that's sorry about that. No, it's just other people in the household. Okay, let me check the audio and video settings here. Microphone, that's mine, that's all set up. That's all working, but can't hear the Skype audio, and I don't know why. So bizarre. Let's check quickly any of the other settings here. Manage how people... No, I don't know why I can't hear audio, Michael. We might pause the show and then come back and see if that fixes the problem. Back shortly. Your camera turned off, by the way.
What?
So we're back live. Sorry about that, folks. We just had a minor issue with the audio, and I think Michael's audio is back now, so should all be good. Let us know in the comments if you can hear Michael now.
Can you hear me now?
Hopefully people are tuning back in after having lost us live, so we'll just wait for those people to get back in. We have 4 eyes on us now, so I'm guessing everything... Yes, they can hear you now, Michael, so that's all good, all working now.
Alright, very good.
Okay, so your thoughts on that Henry Cavill issue there, that video?
I think it's hilarious. Just the fact that he held up the Justice League one made me laugh like you wouldn't believe. I just thought that was just great. I mean, but I think
it shows that he has a sense of humor.
Yeah, and more than that, I think hopefully now we can get past this and maybe get onto some healing over the whole mustache thing. I mean, I saw an article the other day. It's just like fans argue whether the mustache removal, whether Mission Impossible Fallout was worth the mustache thing in Justice League. And I'm like, guy, just enjoy the movie. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm hearing really good reviews about the new film. So Mission Impossible Fallout does seem to be hitting all the right buttons when fans are going to see it. And Henry Cavill is really good in it from what I'm hearing. So it's good to see him stretching his acting legs, so to speak. Now, looking at possible future movies with Henry Cavill as Superman, Collider did an interview with Jeff Johns, and the interviewer is a big Superman fan. Was like, most important thing to me is getting another Superman movie, and that the movie be bright and hopeful and inspirational, and that Henry Cavill gets a chance to reprise the role. And Jeff Johns was like, "Yep, I'm with you. All for getting another Superman movie done. I can't speak to what's happening. It's not in my wheelhouse, but everyone at Warner Brothers loves Superman and understands the importance of Superman." I'll play you a bit of that interview now and then get your reaction, Michael. So let's see if it's here, Jeff Johns. I'll see if I can find the right location. So bear with me as I scan through the video for you.
Got into this business because of Superman.
This movie, I was like really
good.
Good.
I look. They're just from. They both. Everyone loves Superman and knows how important Superman is, and again, it's not in my wheelhouse now to really say anything beyond that. But yeah, they agree with your sentiment.
Totally. I know you love Superman,
and I do too. Yeah, I got into this business because of Superman the movie, because Dick Donner directed what I think is still an amazing superhero film, but amazing film. It's an American film. It's a classic, and you can.
So there you have it. Jeff Johns talking about the impact Superman the movie had, and how it's still something that they go back to and source today, and that yes, everyone still loves Superman and wants this new Superman film, but it's not something that he can talk about whether there's anything in the works there.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to gauge him because you read this stuff in print, you can't really get a sense of what the person is thinking or feeling, and looking at him, it's like he wants to say something, but he just can't. He says it's not in my wheelhouse, so maybe again, it's not in his. It's not his job at this point to announce anything. Warner Brothers, if they are planning something, is going to announce. I'm saying, in all honesty, that with the critical acclaim Henry's getting for Mission Impossible, I'm thinking that maybe Warner Brothers would be in their best interest to kind of lock him down now. Mm-hmm. Because it might be harder down the road, especially if he starts getting more and more roles, especially action roles. It's going to be harder to get him as Superman. So get him in a contract, get him back in the costume, and do a movie that makes me just as excited as I am for Aquaman and Shazam. And
look, Henry's perpetually staying in shape. You're always seeing him working out, and he's obviously ready to go whenever they are. But I'm hearing some whispers that he might not even appear as a cameo in the Shazam film after all, which we all believed was going to happen.
Yeah, and on one hand, that would be great to see him, but on the other hand, I think we want to focus on Shazam. I like the idea that Shazam mentions other heroes and has all that kind of bric-a-brac in Freddie Freeman's room. But at this point, what would Superman in the movie do? Just kind of sit there hovering above him going, "Good job, kid," and fly off? I mean, it's just, it seems kind of, unless it's some kind of weird flashback sequence with one of the kids, I just don't see I don't see the upside of having him in the film, is what I'm saying.
Unless it's like a post-credit scene or something like that
Yeah.
kind of alludes to there being a meeting down the track, or the two of them getting together in a future movie or something along those lines. You never know. But that's where things are at. We don't know any details about whether or not there will ever be another Superman movie with Henry Cavill. We have our fingers crossed and we're hopeful, but there doesn't seem to be any solid planning at this point in time that we know of, or that's being revealed. Yeah. Now, the Death of Superman animated movie is out digitally now, and the DVD and Blu-ray are released on August 7th, so only a week away to that release. And I know that there's one flying its way to you right now, Michael, hopefully getting there before August 7th. So
yes.
We'll expect a review of that from you. But along with the Death of Superman animated movie is going to be talk about the second film, the sequel, Part 2, which is Reign of the Superman. And now we have a sneak peek that has been released online of Reign of the Superman. So let's have a little bit of a look at that right now.
Coming off of the first movie, the question is, what happens when the leader of your moral center, what happens when that's gone? How does Superman's death impact his world?
The beginning of the Reign of the Superman, I think, is straight to kind of introduction of these replacements.
These four Supermen, what do they each represent?
You really saw Lois take control of the story.
What if one of them really is Clark, reborn?
Are any of them the real Superman or a trace of the real Superman?
Superman represents hope. And at the end of Death of Superman, that hope is lost. The question of where we go from there is what we're trying to explore with this story.
We learn from Superman Doomsday, deliver the full novel. We're going to cover the complete story as a two-parter.
We were able to take the book and amplify it, kick up the stakes a little bit. So the threat, it's more threatening than ever.
So there you have it. The threat is more threatening than ever, is what he says at the end there. And I think, well, a lot of people were like, do we need to see the Death of Superman again, blah, 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 blah. There's nobody going, I don't want to see the Reign of the Superman done in animated form.
I watched this last week, and I have waited 25 years for this. And that's not a joke. It's been 25 years since the story came out, so that's an accurate statement. But more than that, it's that they're actually going for it. You know, seeing the little bit of Superboy and he's wearing the jacket made me happier than I thought I really should be, because, you know, Superboy went through a lot of different costume changes there in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and then they just settled on, you know, putting a t-shirt on him and a pair of jeans and all that. But, you know, I'm still a sucker for that leather jacket kind of spandex thing. And Steel looks good. Cyborg Superman looks different. But at the same time, I'm not, you know, upset about it. And the Erotica, I mean, they're all there, and they're actually going for this. And they have 80 minutes to kind of explore this concept, so hopefully, you know, we're not going to see beat for beat everything that happened during Reign of the Supermen in comics, but it just seems like, you know, the guy says it, that Warner Brothers guy in the video said it. He's like, you know, we learned from Death of Superman, do the whole novel, and that was our complaints back then.
With Superman
like,
Doomsday,
okay, this is Superman Doomsday. This is fine. You know, the fight's okay. The action figures left a lot to be desired, but you know, it's just like, you know, thanks for giving us something, but we would have preferred the whole thing. And I think after things like Batman Year One and Dark Knight Returns, they realized they can do this.
And Daniel in the comments is saying, is he the only one that's bothered with the fact that the designs are the New 52 redesigns? not the only one, because it's been a thing that's been trashed out many times in different comments around different social media areas. And I guess the only answer to that is that it's still part of the continuity that they've set up in this animated universe that started with those designs. We may, for all we know, and I think we've speculated on this, when Superman does come back in the Reign of the Superman, he may come back in the classic costume that we're now familiar with the red trunks and the no collar and all that kind of stuff. And that might be a way for them to bring that into continuity in these films.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's what they do, but I'm not a fan of. It's not that I dislike the New 52 Superman outfit as it was presented in the comics, because there's a lot of artists, especially Jim Lee, who designed the outfit, that make it look really good. However, in the movies, the S is too small, the cape looks terrible, but this is what they went with. So, we're never going to be 100% happy with anything.
That's so true.
I guess that's what what I'm trying to say.
And if you are a Death of Superman fan, as far as the stories are concerned, Mark Lax in the comments reminds us that Comixology are currently doing a Death of Superman sale, and I'm haven't got confirmation of this, but I believe that Louise Simonson is writing a new Digital First series out tomorrow, Wednesday, August 1st. A Digital First series that ties in with the animated movie, but embellishes the stories somewhat.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. Somebody shared that to my Facebook page today. That it looked like Jerry Ordway artwork.
Yeah, I've got an image here. I'll just quickly put it up in front of our faces right there.
But no, I mean, it's just that's amazing. If that's what they're doing, it seems like they're really getting behind this film. Now, you could argue that, of course, DC is going to get behind a Death of Superman property because, the Death of Superman is is it still their best-selling graphic novel of all times?
I believe so.
Or, it keeps getting reprinted, and they've done 2 omnibus editions and all that, so to do something else with that, that's kind of like, they're not leaving money on the table this time. But I'm just excited that some of the original creators are involved.
Yeah.
Because it's good to see that kind of recognition.
Yeah, perfect. And David says, do you think they'll explain the whole Coast City stuff? I don't know if they'll go into that here. That's more kind of Green Lantern area.
They'll probably destroy a city because that's kind of an integral part of the story. That Superman and Cyborg Superman and Eradicator are fighting, and he sets it off. So that'll probably be the back half of the movie. But I probably... You know what? Since Green Lantern's in the first part of it, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Very true.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see when that comes out early next year. Reign of the Superman will be released in 2019. But the Death of Superman, as I said, is out digitally now and will be on Blu-ray and DVD August 7th. Do you have a Blu-ray player?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good. Because I was worried when I got them to send you the Death of Superman that it was going to be sent in a format that you're going to be going, oh, thanks, but I can't play it.
No, got it 3 years ago when we finally upgraded. Our TV went out, so we finally bought a flat screen, and I'm like, well, we might as well get a Blu-ray player now. I am not going to go out and buy a 4K.
No.
Just because Superman the movie is being released in that format. But yeah.
All right, well, let's take a quick break at this point in the show and then come back on the flip side to talk TV stuff with Supergirl, Young Justice Outsiders, and so much more. So we'll be back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Look! A up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
When Lex Luthor unleashes his plan to destroy the world, you can be just like Superman. With a Superman Returns Inflato suit, you can pretend to have all the muscles of a Man of Steel. And strap on the punch and crush gloves to hear the sound of every punch you throw and everything you crush. Inflato suit accessory, you put it together, batteries not included, punch and crush gloves sold separately. And when trouble hits the skies, you'll be ready with a Fight and Fly FX cape with real flying sounds. This cape responds to every move you make, whether you turn left or right to save the day.
And we're back on WGBS TV Live, and interesting Inflato suit. I remember those from Superman Returns time.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because they announced that not only will Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum be coming to DragonCon this year, but Brandon Routh is coming back. So they're actually getting some good Superman guests.
Yes, we are indeed, and just the quality of your video and your audio is kind of just diminished there. And Michael, I'm not sure if there's something going on with your connection, but hopefully that kind of corrects itself as we go along. All right, now you're back. You're moving now. All good.
Yes.
We have some details with the Supergirl cast having done a number of interviews at San Diego Comic-Con. The CW posted a live video that was filmed live and supposedly aired live, but then was obviously posted on YouTube later on, showing the cast answering fan questions. And I've got a bit of that video here to play for you, so I will show you that right now if I've got it ready. There it is.
We're live.
So wait, we're the hosts.
Yeah,
we're our own hosts. This is a lot of pressure. You're gonna regret that.
Okay.
Let's play
this
or that.
Melissa. Yes. Krypton or Earth?
Oh! You'd rather be on a dead planet?
I guess I have to go with my gut. Krypton. Okay. Super strength or super speed? Super strength. Reporter or crime fighter? Reporter. Secret identity or public figure?
Oh, secret identity.
Yes.
There we go.
Right, there you go.
Is this about like us personally, or?
There you have it. There's some of the discussion from the cast of Supergirl talking live, getting questions, direct questions, and just quickly answering them off the top of their head. Interesting that she went for Krypton over Earth in her initial response. And went, oops.
I liked Lena Luthor's hat. That was an interesting look for her. It's always neat kind of seeing them kind of behind the scenes and casual. Not that it's truly important, but it's nice that they all seem to kind of get along as a cast. Because I'm sure if you don't get along with the people you work with, it's probably a really toxic work environment.
Exactly. And then we also saw a new DC All Access video in which the cast of Supergirl talk about Season 4 and some of the things that we can expect from the upcoming Red Daughter storyline that they're going to be playing with. And I think I've got some of that here as well. I just seem to... Yes, there it is.
There's a new version of Supergirl in town, and Season 4 will pay homage to DC's classic Elseworld story, Superman Red Sun. We checked in with the stars and producers to find out what's coming up for National City and the Girl of Steel.
In the season premiere, Season 3, that was a big ordeal. Defeating Reign, I think, gave her some confidence and pep in her step that she needed. So Supergirl's kind of all over the place. But obviously, it doesn't really last very long because you can never really predict what happens in National City. Well, I don't know much yet from what I've seen of the script, but it's, I know, based on a comic book called The Red Sun that was Superman. So it's kind of going to explore the idea of nature versus nurture and this doppelganger of Kara raised in a different country in Russia. How will she be different than Kara?
So there we have some of what Melissa Benoist had to say about what she knows about the Red Daughter storyline. And I guess the real difference in point here between Red Sun, Superman Red Sun, and what they're doing here on Supergirl is the fact that in Superman Red Sun, it wasn't a doppelganger, it was just Clark, or baby Kal-El, having been sent to Russia rather than America, whose rockets landing there. So there was not two different versions of the character in the story. It was just, what if he landed in Russia instead of landing in America? Where here we have two versions of the character in existence at the same time. The Kara that we know, and a different one that somehow is in Russia.
Yeah, and Red Sun is one of those stories that I enjoy, but it's not my favorite of the Elseworlds, simply because I think some of the writing choices Mark Miller made, especially with Lex Luthor and how obnoxious that character was, kind of bugged me after a while. But if you're gonna take that idea and kind of transport it to television, making these changes, kind of feels a little more authentic. Because otherwise, an option they could do is it's an alternate Earth, but then how did she get here? But here we get to see, kind of a different take on it. And if Supergirl's known for anything this season, it's different takes on classic characters or old concepts. Exhibit A, Agent Liberty.
Exactly.
It was a little different, and I'm still a little annoyed about it. I haven't gotten over it yet. And it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of Sam Witwer to kind of bring me over to that.
Well, speaking about the new characters that are being introduced to Supergirl in Season 4, a Deadline this week reported that Rona Mitra has been cast in the role of Mercy Graves for Season 4. Now, we've got a description here in which we read, as Lex Luthor's longtime bodyguard, Mercy is described as an ex-Cadmus agent who has always believed in human exceptionalism. With her boss and his mother both in prison, Mercy is stepping out of the Luthor shadow and running her own show. With her biting wit and lethal brawn... sorry, I just lost my place there. Mercy steadily becomes a key figure in National City's growing Human First movement.
Exciting. Hopefully they don't blow her up in the Capitol building. That would make me happy. No, it's just, again, you're bringing over other characters, especially involving Lex Luthor. We got, now we have Miss Tessmacher, we have Mercy Graves, and it looks like we've got somebody else too.
That's right. We do have the extra announcement that Robert Baker is the actor who has also joined the cast for Season 4, and he'll be Mercy's brother, Otis Graves. Now, it says here that, described as Mercy's de facto right-hand man, what Otis lacks in brains he makes up for with his savant-like abilities to assassinate aliens. Wow.
I love... One, Mercy was a great addition to the animated series that eventually made it over to the comics. And she was a character I always liked, especially when it got into Justice League and she was like out of Lex's shadow and kind of her own person. Bringing Otis in with a man who seems to be part wolf from the picture that was just up on the screen. And having him be an assassin, it takes the name and, having it be associated with a Luthor, but kind of removes maybe kind of the bumbling nature, or maybe they will make him bumbling until he's just, a killing machine. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this, but I like the fact that they're using the names and actually trying to develop characters out of them.
Yeah, it is an interesting one because they are both Lex Luthor's henchmen, if you like. They've both been his bodyguard or his, sidekick in different versions of the storytelling. Obviously, Otis best known from Superman the movie, and Mercy probably best known from the animated series, but she's also appeared in the comic books. And having them be one and as in both being brother and sister team here in this version of the story is kind of an inspired choice, I think, depending on how it's played.
Yeah, and I'm a little confused. Are they going to be associated with Lena right away, or are they going to be associated with this Agent Liberty group?
Probably more with the Agent Liberty group, considering that they're fighting for this, human first kind of mentality. So it'll be interesting to see them introduced and how much of a role they play in season 4 when it does premiere later. It's in October, I think. It's starting on a Sunday night. It is on Sundays for season 4, so later in October we'll see Supergirl return. Now moving across to Young Justice Outsiders, which will be part of the DC Universe streaming service. We had the creators Greg Weisman, Brandon Vietti and Phil Barassa, along with casting director Jamie Thompson, chat about the long-awaited return of the series, what we can expect from the 3rd season, and the stories they'll be focusing on. And it's interesting to see that some of the things that they're getting inspiration from, and the characters like Forager, Halo, and Geoforce, which are not really well-known characters that they seem to be focusing on early.
Yeah, I mean, comic book wise, I would say that Geoforce is probably the best known, with Halo coming in kind of in second, because they were part of the Outsiders. But Geoforce went beyond that and was a member of the Justice League. Forager is a really kind of obscure New Gods character, so it's like, it's kind of neat that they're going in this direction. I've already decided that I'm going to get the service when it becomes available, so hopefully they'll have like the first 2 seasons so I can kind of watch those before I watch the 3rd season. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool that they're bringing in more of the young hero characters that DC developed during the 80s and are now kind of exploiting because they have the platform to do so.
And it'll be interesting to see whether or not the DC Universe digital streaming service will be releasing seasons at a pop, or will they be doing episodic, weekly kind of releases? I'm hearing different things for different shows.
Yeah, I mean, the whole releasing everything at once is definitely the Netflix model, but maybe they want to have more of a network feeling with it.
It'll be interesting to see where they go. But here's some of that video, as I was talking about, from the Young Justice Outsiders cast and crew.
Young Justice Outsiders will premiere exclusively on the DC Universe subscription service next year, and we rubbed elbows with the team behind the show for a glimpse at what we can expect in season 3.
We're very much picking up story-wise where we left off. We suffered the loss of one of the friends, one of the team members, Kid Flash, passed, and the loss of a friend, the loss of a fellow hero has an impact on all of the people that knew him. And so that's very much something that we'll see.
Artemis has a really big role in season 3, and I think you're going to see how much she is processing the loss of Wally and what that means for her to be in the world without him, and who she is now, and who she feels that she needs to take care of.
So there's just a bit of the video from DC All Access, and you can watch the whole thing on our website. But very much looking forward to Young Justice Outsiders and to see how much Superboy plays a part in the series, because obviously from a Superman fan perspective, we want to see those characters that we kind of drifting or kind of drift towards.
Yeah, in the chat, Patrick is asking what the status of the Metropolis TV series is. I don't think they've announced anything new.
No,
after
think
it was put on hold.
That's right. They just said it was put on hold. It was being evaluated and would probably go in a different direction to what was originally announced. So, no status update on that other than it's been put on hold.
Absolutely. I was a little cranky about the show, but it's not like I don't want something like that to actually pop up. I think this service is the perfect place for that.
Yeah. All right, now DC Superhero Girls, as we've announced before, is going through a new animated series is coming to Cartoon Network, and it's got a totally new look about it, and I'll pop up that image right now showing you what the new character designs look like. But there was an interesting interview with executive producer Lauren Faust, in which she discusses the show. She says, I think far too often when people make stuff for girls, it's less about inspiring them, less about entertaining them, and less about reflecting their own experiences back to them. All too often it's about telling them how we expect them to behave, and I hate that. I don't want to do that, so we're trying to reflect their experiences back to them, but in a super lens. And interestingly, the first episode of this animated series actually premieres before the Teen Titans Go to the Movies film, which is out in theaters now, and the show will premiere then on Cartoon Network in the near future.
I really need to go see that Teen Titans Go movie. I've heard some really good things about it. But yeah, the design that they're showing here, Supergirl looks a little strange.
Aggressive.
Quite. Yeah, I mean, it's just she just looks weird. It's probably just the position she's in. They haven't really gone wrong with the DC Superhero Girls line yet. So, I think retooling it will just kind of reinvigorate the line. Maybe they felt they went as far as they could with the old concept, and now they're going in a new direction.
Yeah, indeed. So wait to see what some of the response is to that. I haven't heard anybody who's actually said, they've seen that episode before the Teen Titans Go to the Movies film, but as you said, I'm hearing good things about that, and I've never watched Teen Titans Go on TV at all. It just doesn't seem to be something that I would enjoy, but I'm hearing good things, and we do know Nicolas Cage obviously voices Superman here, so who knows, could be good.
Yeah, they did a special the weekend the movie came out. They did a special hour-long episode, and where the Teen Titans make their own film, and there was this flash right there at the end of it, and I paused it and rewound it, and they take a pot shot at Jim Lee, but in a really subtle way. So the show can be very funny. The show can be very obnoxious, but it's aimed for a much younger audience. So, but everybody I've seen who's gone to the film has said nothing but good things about it.
Okay, well, if you've seen it and you want to share your thoughts with us, then we're happy to do so. All right, well, just kind of changing tack now, going to the comic book side of things. This week we saw... Actually, before we do that, because we're going to run out of time, let's do the big question segment of our show and the super secret soundbite. So I'll play the intro for the big question right now.
Let's start with the big question.
All right, so up front, the big question from last month was, what did you think about the Brian Michael Bendis' Man of Steel 6-issue miniseries? And we only had 2 respondents, and one of those was Billy Hogan, who we haven't heard from in a long time. Billy says, I haven't read the final issue yet, but because I get my comic books shipped to me at the end of the month. But the Man of Steel miniseries has been fantastic. The only thing I didn't like was what happened to Kandor. Bendis has brought back more Clark Kent and the sporting cast at the Daily Planet. That's the thing that was missing from the New 52 Superman once the original storyline's finished. He's weaving multiple plot lines in each issue, which makes it a rich reading experience. And I agree, there were many different plot lines that did intertwine as the series continued. So Yeah.
It's funny that most of the people that have the problem with Kandor are the ones that really like the pre-crisis Superman world, so that makes a lot of sense.
And the other respondent was Henry Bernstein, who says, it was terrific. I think the Bendis voice is perfect for Superman. He seems to understand who Clark is, what he stands for, and who he cares about. He seems to respect various canons while creating new stories. I didn't feel super compelled by the new villain, but Bendis has a history of doing the slow burn, long haul kind of storytelling. I'm patient. I was a little distracted by the rotating artists, but they were all great, especially Doc Shaner. Can't wait for more. And I agree, that's probably the only detrimental thing about the Man of Steel miniseries was that it had a different artist every issue, and that kind of was a bit of, a distraction.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I would have enjoyed maybe just seeing Ivan Reis, or heck, even like Jason Fabok, who I thought did a magnificent job on the final issue. And even though we haven't talked about it yet, I was really impressed with Action Comics number 1001. Yeah. So it's just so far Bendis has not let me down, so to speak.
We'll speak about Action Comics 1001 in a second. But so the new big question for this month, and if you want to get involved, this is the question. I'm just uploading the form for everyone right now. And the new big question for this month is, what did you think of the Death of Superman animated movie? Now, by time, obviously, it's out digitally now, and in a week it will be out Blu-ray and DVD. But by the time we get around to doing the big question segment at the end of August, you guys will have hopefully all seen it. So, what did you think of the Death of Superman animated movie? Your chance to get involved with the big question segment of our show. Go to the Superman homepage. Under the Contact Us menu, you'll find the big question form where you can respond, and we'll read out every response we get here in our show at the end of August, the last Tuesday of August.
Woohoo! So, right in, folks. We want more than 2 next month.
Exactly. Excuse me. All right, let's move on to the super secret soundbite. I'll play that for you right now.
Only one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superman, and that's you.
You have to excuse me, I'm just a bit under the weather and struggling with my voice here at the moment. But I don't have the sound from last month, I accidentally removed it already. But the sound from last month came from the Season 1 finale of the Krypton TV series, and we, I think, had a couple of people guess it right, and they were Mike Zumo and Tortoise Mal. So congratulations to those 2 people for guessing where in the world of Superman that sound came from. Now, here is the new sound for this month. See if you can guess where in the world of Superman this sound comes from.
Well, Superman, that was a wonderful thing you did.
So there you have it. Do you think you know where in the world of Superman that sound came from? If you do, then use the super secret soundbite entry form found under the Contact Us menu at the Superman homepage, and we will read out the name of every person who guesses it right here in the last episode of August of WGBS TV Live, where hopefully Scotty will join us again. But I don't think that's too difficult. It should be interesting to see how many people guess that one right.
And I hope he can show up, because I won't be here.
Oh, I'll be doing it on my own.
That's the night they're showing Superman the movie in Atlanta. So
cool.
I'm heading into town to see that. So I was going to tell you off air, but you brought it up now, so I figured I'd mention it.
We'll make it happen. Don't worry. I'm sure if we give Scotty enough notice, it won't be a problem. So that is both the big question segment and the super secret soundbite segments for this month. So I'm going to play that sound once again for everyone to see if they can guess where this sound comes from. Don't put it in the comments. Obviously, we don't want to give it away, but if you do know it, use the entry form at the website. Here it is, the sound once more.
Well, Superman, that was a wonderful thing you did.
Yeah, so if you think you know it, get involved with the super secret soundbite segment of our show. Well, as I mentioned, we're talking about Action Comics 1001. Michael, and you were saying that you really enjoyed this particular issue.
Yes, very much so. Bendis has a tendency, it's one of his writing tics, that he has kind of, amusing back and forth dialogue between characters, and usually he kind of deconstructs things a little bit through that dialogue. And in this case, we open up this issue with Superman stopping these people, and they're shooting at him, and the one guy is just like, I can't stop. Oh my God, I'm going to throw the gun at him. And it was just, to me, it was played just right, because the strength of this issue was that Clark Kent and the Daily Planet and that whole side of Superman is vital to the character. And we got to see, it was like basically back in the late 80s and early 90s when there's kind of a, like an underworld bad guy organization like Intergang or something like that kind of operating under the scenes, because it kind of just fleshes out Superman and makes it about more than him just fighting the big supervillains. And, we've talked about in past episodes that it's kind of weird that he's doing this in action and doing the big stuff in Superman. But again, I think that's just kind of a purposeful flipping the script and making action more about like kind of Superman in his world, and then giving Superman over to like the huge events. So I really enjoyed it. I like the mystery that's kind of unfolding, and I like that these bad guys basically waited for him to get out of town before they had their meeting.
Yeah, is it the Red Mist? This new leader
Yes.
Just very intriguing character. You just kind of wonder what's going on there and how long they've been behind the scenes, pulling these strings. But and also the Lois Lane story. What is going on there? Why hasn't she alerted Clark that the fact that she's back and that she's writing these stories, and what does it all mean?
Yeah, I think that's a good story beat to kind of play out. I mean, but on the other hand too, it's nice that we're not waiting a year for her and Jonathan to get back.
So that's going to be an interesting subplot as it plays out. We've got the fires and everything going on. We've got the Red Mist and her crew behind the scenes as well, and there's so many just plot elements that are playing out, and the new characters that have been introduced. What's she? The lady who's the head of the fire department, and her involvement. That's also playing out nicely, and she's a great new character, a new addition to the characters that are in the story. So, yeah, I think Bendis is doing a great job so far, and great to see Action back after that 1000th issue. Now we're going on to a regular publication of Action Comics issues once again.
And to answer Patrick's question from the Flash chat of how many times I've seen Superman the movie on a big screen, technically once, and that was at the Superman Celebration in 2008. I totally missed when Warner Brothers had their roadshow movie thing in '98, and they never did do a wide release on the special edition of Superman the movie, and the closest we're getting is this thing at the Savannah School of Art and Design. So, but I'm still looking forward to it. It's going to be a great way to kick off my vacation, because day after that we head into town for Dragon Con. So
nice. Great
it's
way
going
to
to be
start.
kind of exciting.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, looking at comic books that are available this week, and I'll just plow through what is available. We've got Injustice 2, Chapter 69 digital comic there, and that is a weird cover with Killer Croc marrying Orca, I think it is. Weird. We've got Injustice 2 print edition number 31. We also have the first issue of Adventures of the Super Sons, a 12-issue maxi series. First issue out this week, and it's available in a variant cover as well, which is right there. We've got Justice League number 5 out this week, and that's available in this Jim Lee cover in colour, as well as a black and white version as available as well. we've got a couple of trade paperbacks. We've got DC Superhero Girls Out of the Blue trade paperback. We have Injustice 2 Volume 2 trade paperback. Injustice 2 Volume 3 hardcover. We've got Supergirl Silver Age Volume 2 trade paperback, and Superman Volume 6 Imperious Lex Rebirth trade paperback out this week as well. So that's what's happening this week in the world of Superman. A lot of trade paperbacks and two main comics, the Adventures of the Super Sons new maxi series and Justice League number 5.
I'm kind of creeped out by that Injustice cover. I really didn't need to see Orca and Killer Croc like that together. But, you know, if two kids really deserved love, it's them. So I hope everything works out with them.
Yeah. Now, before we wrap up, there's also this Sideshow Collectibles. I'll just turn those off. This new print from Sideshow Collectibles. Yes, another Batman v Superman thing that's out there. It is a print by artists Alex Pachenko and Ian McDonald. It's limited to just 350 prints. It is valued at or selling at $250 and will ship this month or August or September, depending on when they get to shipping. And it's a nice print. Don't get me wrong. If you're into the whole Batman v Superman stuff.
Batman v Superman, the most useless argument in fandom ever.
Well, it's probably look. It's a great piece of art. Don't get me wrong. I love it, and there are Batman fans and Superman fans out there who probably love it because they're fans of both. And it just seems kind of late in the running.
Yeah, especially now that they're kind of getting along better. It seems like you would have wanted to do that a couple of years ago. But, hey, if they can sell it, they can sell it.
Exactly. All right, well, that's pretty much it for tonight's show. Before we do sign off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of WGBS TV Live. Thanks to all those in the comments there on Facebook who have participated in the show. We appreciate your involvement. And a big thank you to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Pleasure as always, now that you can hear me.
Yes, and a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Tina Murray, Douglas Meacham, and Henry Bernstein. And if you want to sponsor the Superman homepage and support everything we do here, then please head to patreon.com/Superman homepage, where you too can be a sponsor of our site for as little as $3. Now, the complete 1 hour video, well, 2 parts of that video because we paused the live streaming, will remain available on the Superman homepage, website, and our Facebook page if you'd like to watch it back or perhaps miss part of the show. But we'll be back next week on Tuesday, August 7th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for another edition of WGBS TV Live. We look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.